timer to give me the green signal at 8 minutes, yellow at 10, and the red at 12. Okay?
Speaker is off.
The mic is not.
No, sorry, the mic.
But we can hear you.
It's fine. Mic is a problem.
Yeah, you are not working.
I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem. Please. Face up. Just keep it up. Yes, sir. Anyone here from Mangalore?
Yes.
There will be quite a lot of people from Mangalore. Now let me ask another question. In 2010, there was an air crash at Mangalore Airport.
Yes.
Any one of you seated here were personally affected?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
No.
Because I'm going to be touching upon that air crash, and I just wanted to make sure that I do not affect anybody personally. Toastmaster, good evening. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've chosen the topic of an air crash investigation report. This investigation report was carried out by the Ministry of Aviation, Government of India. As a technical person, and as a person who is very fond of aviation as such, I have the habit of following up on anything to do, anything interesting to do with the aviation industry. And I discovered one thing. Very often, any subject, even though it may be a super specialized one, which may not really be something which everybody would easily understand, there could be lessons from it which you could carry out into your own personal life, to your office, to your home, anywhere. I found this particular investigation report an excellent one for those who are interested in aviation, for those who are interested in navigation, for those who are interested in technology, and for those who are interested in pure management. So here we go. The accident took place on the 22nd of May 2010. And like I've already said, much of my comments, much of this presentation is going to be based on the original report filed by a court which is appointed specifically by the Government of India. Certainly I have added quite a few slides and some information from my side to make it more palatable, to make it more useful to all of you. Just let's look at some of the basic facts. The flight was IX-812. It was Dubai to Mangalore via Muscat. It was a quick turnaround flight that started from Mangalore, flew to Dubai, and late at night, shortly after midnight, took off via Muscat back to Mangalore. The aircraft was almost a brand new one. It was just 2 years old. It was a Boeing 737-800. There were 166 persons on the manifesto, out of which there were 6 crew and the rest were passengers. Unfortunately, 158 people lost their lives in this tragic accident, and all the crew, all 6 of them, also died as part of it. This is just to have a quick look at what happened. This is the end result of that tragedy. The complete aircraft was destroyed. It's quite magical that 8 people managed to survive, and out of which one person just walked out of the air, out of this wreckage. He walked out, and he had not a scratch on his body. Such miracles too do happen. Now, have you heard of tabletop runways?
Yes.
Yes, all the guys from Mangalore certainly have, because Mangalore has a tabletop runway. For those who are not familiar with what a tabletop runway is, this is one. This is not Mangalore. This is another example from somewhere else. Tabletop runway is a short runway high up on a hill, and almost always certainly ending over a cliff. The cliff could go into the sea, it could go into a deep ravine, a valley, anything. But the point is, it's among the mountains, high up, and it's a dead end. There's a fall. Now let's look at the specific one, the mangrove one. This is an artist's impression of how the mangrove one looks, and I can assure you this is almost the same as it looks. There's greenery all around. Mangrove is a very beautiful place, thickly wooded, and it's high, and there are 2 runways. This used to be the original runway in Bangalore, and it couldn't take the larger flights. So later on they built a new runway all this way, and this is 8,800 feet runway, which has been in operation since quite some time. It can take almost all the big aircraft. What happened on that fateful day was one aircraft landed well ahead of the threshold, and it overshot the runway and fell into the valley below, destroying itself and killing 158 people on the road. In fact, this picture is not depicted properly because it shows the aircraft having touched down well ahead. In reality, it touched down somewhere at this point where there was just 2,200 feet of runway left. This is what happened. We're going to look at why it happened. We're going to see what are the lessons we can take from this. This is a Google Map view of the same picture which I just showed you. That's the original runway. This is the runway, the new runway on which the accident took place. And this red spot over here is way outside the runway. That's where the unfortunate plane ended up flying. I need to tell you something about the instrument landing system on aircraft. You all have heard of the instrument landing system. Strictly speaking, even in total blind conditions, even in thick fog where you cannot see anything more than 100 meters, it is possible to land an aircraft using instrument landing system if everything is working well. Let's have a quick look at some of these aspects. Now, this is a drawing which I created for the discussion. This here is the runway, and let's leave this diagram for a moment. There are 2 elements to the instrument landing system. One is, let's for a moment imagine that this is the runway. The pilot is coming in from here, and he needs to align himself along the center line of the runway. That's the first and foremost thing. That's called a localizer signal. There's a special antenna sitting at the far end of the runway, and from here is signal. Like you can imagine it as one of those searchlights you have on the beach during festivals. But only thing is, it's invisible. It's just radio waves and you can't see them. But the aircraft instruments can pick up that signal, and the aircraft and the pilot is able to align the flight along the center line of the runway, maybe 5-6 kilometers ahead of the actual landing. The other important part is the glide path antenna. Somewhere just before the actual landing point starts, there's a set of antennae which transmits another signal, and that emanates in a conical form. This cone here represents the path of that signal. Now this signal helps the aircraft to take a steady path towards the touch point. Once the pilot manages to enter the glide path, then the glide path will guide the pilot smoothly so that he does not have to worry about where he will land. He will land correctly at this point. Here is the